Where's the music?
Oh shit, the music.
Well, Laura's got it all ready on her phone because she knew I was in a hurry, so...
Hold on. You're going to hear some... I have to go get my phone.
Yeah.
Every time. Fuck.
I
playing.
guess
Hold on, let me take out my headphones. Maybe it'll... Hello?
Hello.
Did you hear it?
Yeah.
Yes.
And we're off.
That's better.
Can we cut in one from the previous episode?
Starting to think we might have to.
No, it's raw. It's real.
Yes,
no
true
censorship.
podcasting in a hurry, getting it all going. Right.
Death on the Nile.
Death on the Nile.
Your
this
pick,
was my
Michael.
choice. Yeah.
Can you tell us why?
Yes. Well, any listeners to previous podcasts will hear the very moment that I decided I wanted to watch this film, which was that you mentioned it recently, Laura. I think when we were recording the Gaslight podcast.
Yep.
And it was in the context of like films you'd seen with famous. Oh well, in fact, it was films with Angela Lansbury.
Oh yeah.
And you said she was brilliant in this, and then you mentioned that it had Maggie Smith and Betty Davis and whoever the hell else. Absolutely all-star, brilliant stuff. And I thought, do you know what? That sounds brilliant. I must watch it. And so I did. What did you all think?
Well.
Just like reading
Well.
a book of Agatha Christie. It was very interesting.
Did you? What one?
Well, I've only read The Man in a Brown Suit or Gentleman in the Brown Suit or something about brown suits.
And you're saying the film was just like reading one?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I've also just gotten big into Agatha Christie. I've read 5 of them.
Oh my God.
Very recently.
I haven't read any. Maybe I should start.
Oh, you should. You should start with The Murder of Roger Ackroyd. It's her best work.
Noted. I've never read a single one, and this was only the second one that I've seen a film of, the first being Murder on the Orient Express. And this was a lot better for me. This was great.
Oh, excellent.
I loved this film. What did you think, Laura?
I also loved it. I think it's a great film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So much going on.
The first time I watched, as we said, I watched it a couple of months ago, and I thought it was amazing then. This time round, I still think it's an amazing film, but a little, not quite as good a murder mystery this time round. But to be fair, that makes sense because I knew who did it.
Yes. Okay. I did not know who did it, which was one thing. Claire, what did you think?
I thought it was good. I didn't think it was amazing, but yeah, it was
not
an
amazing.
entertaining way to spend a couple hours.
Yep. And Fernando?
Yeah, I really liked it. I thought it was a good film. I'm glad we picked this film. I might read the book.
Wonderful. Okay. Oh, could you read the book now that you know the solution? Would it still be interesting?
That's true. I should have only seen Harry Potter, and then that way I would not have had to read them. Yeah, I will still read the book.
Okay.
Because I did like the film.
Fair enough. And there was a whole web of connections and things. I'm sure I will have missed some critical points. I was trying to make a note of all of the reasons everybody was aligned in some particular way, and it was brilliant stuff.
Did anyone guess what was going to happen?
No. I have the record of my texts to Liz, because Liz is a huge Poirot fan, a huge Agatha Christie fan. So I just sent her a text saying, I'm just sitting down to watch Death on the Nile. We'll see how good this is.
I saw this on Twitter.
Really?
She posted a screenshot of your text to her, and her not having your number and being like, who is this? And you messaging back saying, who indeed? A mystery worthy of Poirot.
She was a very good sport about that. I thought she might give. There was something good about her giving me the talking about how much she loved this film and how she thinks it's an all-star cast and great stuff before telling me that she doesn't know who I am. That was quite good. But I sent her a text after the death had occurred, saying who I thought, giving my suspicions. And I said that the prime suspect was Jim.
Who's Jim?
Who's Jim?
Jim was, I'm trying to remember now, Jim was the communist.
Oh.
Who was talking about how the rich people ought to be shot and all of that.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and obviously they all had some reason for killing her, but it seemed to me that Jim had an opportunity to go in and do it. Now, little did I know that Poirot was going to go through every single person on the entire boat and give a credible explanation for how they could have killed her. And each time there was another one, I was like, oh, so there's 3 suspects, but I bet it's someone we didn't think. Oh, so there's 5 suspects. Until it was like, well, it's everybody on the boat. It can't be the one person who... Because surely it's going to be the one person we would have least suspected. But he's talked about everyone. And it was still somebody that I never would have suspeced.
Oh, brilliant.
I was absolutely blown away by the conclusion. I thought it was perfect. So, I said it might have been Jim, because he seemed to have a way of achieving it. I think he carried someone that I can't remember now, but it seemed okay. Or I thought maybe Jackie, who had shot. Let me get my names right. Jackie, of course, got drunk and shot Simon in the leg.
Oh, yeah.
I thought she had maybe shot him through the leg, and the bullet had gone through and through the wall and hit Lynette. So shot her through the wall by accident, or that maybe Lynette had committed suicide. And I thought the key clue was that only one gunshot was heard. And I thought a gun should be heard from the whole of the boat, and we only ever heard one shot. That's going to be the key piece of information. But no, not the case at all. And I think that was why they made a point of how small the gun was, that it wouldn't actually have been that loud.
Yeah.
So yeah, brilliant stuff. Couldn't believe it. I was miles off. My 3 suspicions: Jim, Jackie by accident, or suicide. None of those. What did you think, Fernando? Did you have a guess at who'd done it?
Yes, the person that was working for her. I thought that maybe she was just too angry that she was not allowed to marry someone that she loved, that she killed her.
Yeah, Louise. The French maid. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow. She had that motive, didn't she? She had the reason to do it.
They all did.
And that was a strong motive. All did.
Yeah. It seemed legitimate somehow. So that was your guess. Claire, what did you think? Did you have a guess?
I had multiple guesses.
Okay.
I thought some of them seemed more ridiculous than others.
Yeah.
So I was sort of dismissing any that involved someone dashing around to do something before while they were supposed to be somewhere else.
Yeah.
I thought they all seemed kind of silly and kind of not very satisfying. So when it turned out that was what he'd done, was sort of dash around, I found that quite disappointing.
Oh no! I felt that. Was the opposite, I think.
That's really sad.
You sounded really disappointed when I told you that.
Yeah. Well, it's nice to share the joy with someone, but no, it's not for everyone, I guess.
I mean, it was great. It's stories like that are always good. But yeah, I didn't feel like I had a chance.
Do you think? I've on my second watch, having known who's done it and rewatching it, I've been like, of course, all the clues were there.
So I feel like the thing that should have given it away, if anything was going to, was the red ink.
But you thought there wasn't enough there for us to have worked it out?
Yeah, at the time, so because there was also like the J and stuff like that on the wall. I wasn't sure if that's what the red ink was getting at, so I'd sort of not put two and two together with that being related to his shot leg.
Okay.
Yeah. What were the other clues that were giveaways?
So I think the main thing was that everybody, apart from Jackie and Simon, and like we saw their motives and we saw a reenactment of it. So that should highlight your suspicion. The fact that it's, classic Christie, where she gives you the most obvious suspect and then writes them off completely so you don't think about them again.
Yeah.
So the fact that every other suspect had a reenactment of them killing her. And then the other thing was Poirot saying at one point, now why would the weapon be missing if this was a frame-up? Well, it wouldn't, would it? So it isn't a frame-up. Okay, and the second thing being, which they pointed out, was the maid, the fact that she did see the assassin but wouldn't say in front of Simon. So we should flag it must have been Simon. Because why would she say that? So I guess they're not really... I mean, I guess you couldn't particularly work out the way it was done because you're not given that information about anything. But there's structural things along the way that are pointing to Simon and maybe Jackie a bit.
I thought the maid was being weird in the room with Simon because she was having an affair with him, and that maybe they'd conspired to do it, and that's why she was being like, "Oh well, even if I did know,
yes,
maybe I could know, but I don't know."
And it was, you were half right then, weren't you? Because she was sort of in on it accidentally. Yeah.
Yeah, but still.
Great stuff. So did you guess it then, Laura? How close were you first time watching it, if you can
not
remember?
At all. As we've discussed, I never see the twist coming. And I will go along with what the film's telling me. So as soon as they're like, it could have been Jim, it could have been Salome Otter, I'm like, oh yes, well, it must have been them then. I figured it out. I'm picking up on these clues. To literally every single suspect, I never write anyone off.
Oh, well, that's fair, I guess.
But it's great because it makes it very enjoyable when it's revealed, because I really am with it. I'm like, oh my God, of course. I didn't see it coming at all.
And I definitely didn't see this one coming, but there were at least some of the suspects. I thought, no, it can't have been them. There were, I think, two suspects that we didn't really get, that we didn't really see. And one of those was the boat operator. Who we didn't see much of him. I think it would have been quite unsatisfying if it had been him, because they didn't really do much with him. But the other person was Colonel Race. I don't think we had a bit where he was a suspect, right?
No, and that did bother me, that the trust immediately went to the rich white guys.
That's what I've noticed from reading the novels, which is that you should never suspect the policeman or anyone in a sort of figure of authority. They're always just dependable, doing their jobs. Don't even bother suspecting them, because it won't have been the police or
so it's just the private citizens who are out to gain something.
Yeah, I think that's. I mean, I've only read 5 of them, and obviously there's a million, so I don't know. Maybe there is one where
that's how she gets you.
True.
There's something about the constructed, almost the backdrop that they set, right? Stuff like that. You could see it. I wrote this down as they were getting onto the boat. It's like, right, sealed unit.
Yeah.
Everything happens on this boat. One of these guys is going to be the murderer. And I guess you sort of need that. The solution was never going to be, it was a sniper on the cliff nearby.
One of those little boys with their bombs out.
Yeah, exactly. That wouldn't be satisfying. You need to have this sort of contract with the reader that it's going to be one of these. And I wonder if that's a part of it, that it's never going to be Poirot because he's the detective, and it's never going to be like the Poirot's friends or the police because they're a part of that backdrop that needs to be there in order for her to set her puzzle. Like telling you the rules of a Sudoku. It's fun because you have to put the one that you can't have more than two of the same number in a box, that kind of thing. I guess that's part of it, and so maybe that's part of her thing, and it's not just those 5 novels; it's all of them.
I think she does really well. She finds a way to make the twist different every time, though. It's not always just the person you suspect the most who's written off. It's always like there's different. You have like low suspicion, medium suspicion, high suspicion, and it's going to be. You just never know.
Yeah.
Like, I guess, with Murder on the Orient Express. I mean, the first time I saw that, I had no clue that it was going to be...
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Spoilers for Murder on the Orient Express.
Sorry.
So what version of Murder on the Orient Express did you see?
I saw the Kenneth Branagh one.
Yeah, me too. I really hated that film. I thought it was rubbish. What did you think?
I didn't mind it. It was all right. I think that was my first ever watching an adaptation of Poirot or being introduced to Poirot. Yeah. It's not the best, is it?
No, very poor. I thought it really lost what it should have had. But I was quite disappointed by that resolution. Maybe that would have been amazing, would have blown my mind if I'd read 20 of these before.
Yeah.
But wasn't too impressed.
Has anyone seen the TV show?
No. Is it David Suchet?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The Poirot TV show, yeah. I used to love it.
Isn't it the best?
Great.
I love it so much.
Good.
Yeah.
Everyone says he was the best Poirot.
I agree.
Except Liz, who says that this was the best Poirot.
My mum says that Peter Ustinov is the best Poirot.
Yeah.
And so does my friend AJ's mum, I think. Or is it him? I can't remember. Someone else's mum. Seems to be a thing among ladies of a certain age and Liz.
Is it you like the Poirot you grew up with?
Oh, maybe.
Something like that.
Yeah. I like this Poirot. I do like him. David Suchet's just a different... He's very gentle and eccentric.
I like how everything's got to be really precise with David Suchet. He's a little bit obsessive.
That's cool.
Yeah, this Poirot, I want to read the book now because I don't think in the books that Poirot would ever admit to being wrong. You know how in this one he was like, I was so foolish to write off Jackie and Simon. That's very out of character for Poirot.
Oh, interesting.
He's basically omniscient.
Okay.
But the books are never from his perspective, so you never see it coming anyway.
Oh, are they not?
No.
Oh, whose perspective is the book from?
It changes completely. The first one I read, it was entirely just a random guy, and then the other ones, they sort of switch between the characters.
Yeah. Oh, is there any chance that this one was Colonel Race?
Oh, could
That's
be.
who I would have narrating if I could.
That would kind of work, wouldn't it? And that would explain why the spotlight was never shifted onto him.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that, he fits a certain set of criteria. Yeah.
It's just naturally trustworthy, isn't he?
Yeah, look at that moustache. He's got a captain's hat on. He couldn't possibly have done it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I loved it. Loved every second of it.
I'm really glad. It wasn't Angela Lansbury, just wonderful, as always.
She was great. So Angela Lansbury, who I wasn't quite expecting it. She was, what was her name?
Salome Ottoman?
Yes, the the steamy novelist.
Yes, and steaming novelist.
Oh, well done. Oh, my watch is talking to me. A good performance by her, and again showing her range.
She's so versatile.
She can play an 18-year-old Cockney maid who loves sleeping around, or she can play a magical witch who tries to win the Second World War, or she can play a novelist
who's also trying to sleep around.
Yes, that as well.
Or a sleeper agent.
Yes. Do you know, this is probably her...
She travels around on a big bed in bed.
Oh, yeah. Hey, she is typecast.
The teapot might be a stretch.
Yeah,
she's got a child.
Working.
That's true. It's
She's
implied.
got a child.
And there are loads of teacups normally in a tea set. So presumably Chip's just one of many.
Yeah. Yep, that's
we saw
true.
when she's like, off with your brothers and sisters now.
When she's like, what now?
That was quite good.
Thank you. In Beauty and the Beast, she's like, off to the cupboard with you now, Chip.
I just wanted to hear you do it.
Oh, right, thanks.
So good.
Anyway, yes, brilliant. I thought the other shining star of this, no surprise, was Maggie Smith.
Yeah, she was brilliant.
Yeah, let's hear it for Maggie Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she just did not give two fucks, did she?
No, she stole every scene she was in for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was quite something, the sort of masculinity they gave her.
That was odd, wasn't it? I wonder what the costume design means.
Yeah. Maybe it was just meant to mean that she was like very straight-laced, no-nonsense, business-like.
Maybe it was supposed to make her more suspicious, and it was coding.
Oh no. That damn Moore code, or whatever it was called.
Hays Code?
Hays Code, that was it. Anyway, she played it magnificently, as always. This is her youngest role that I've seen her in.
I think she might have been younger in the prime of Miss June Brody, which I've seen her in.
I think so too.
You're also knowledgeable.
Oh, I'm not as knowledgeable as you, Fernando.
I know nothing.
You know everything. I can't count the amount of times you've come out with an obscure poem or quote from Oscar Wilde that I've never heard.
Yeah.
But I
maybe he just makes them up.
From The Picture of Dorian Gray, which is just one book.
Oh.
Well.
Maybe you have a sort of a deep and focused knowledge. That's good as well.
Angela
no good in a pub
Lansbury.
quiz.
Yeah.
I love her outfit.
Oh, yes, she was dressed spectacularly as well.
I love that sort of 1920s kind of weirdly modern looking thing that you see in some of these films. It's great.
Lovely.
How many of these actors were in other films we've seen?
Oh, that's a good question.
As a club. I can count at least 3.
I think I can only count 3.
Yeah, so talk us through them.
The ladies. The ladies club. Maggie Smith, Betty Davis, Angela Lansbury.
Yeah, when did we see Maggie Smith before?
Oh, wait, we might not have seen Maggie Smith.
Is this our first Maggie Smith film?
No
way.
That can't be right.
I can't think of any.
Oh, it might be. Yeah, you might be right. Who's the third then that you were thinking of?
The one I was thinking of. Could anyone else tell me?
No.
Uncle Andrew. With his gun.
Yes.
I think he was Tex.
Oh, he was.
In Charade.
Oh, well done.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, surely.
Nah, he wasn't Tex. He played Herman Scobie. but not Tex.
In Charade?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was Tex. That wasn't his real name. It was a nickname, wasn't it?
No, there was James Coburn played Tex.
Oh. Oh, that's weird.
So he was in Charade.
I guess I must have just forgotten who Tex was.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, oh no, that's right now. I'm remembering Tex now. Oh, well done. Anyway, we definitely saw him in something. So that's 3. What a cast,
between
though.
us, we knew something there, didn't we?
Yeah,
Almost.
We got 1 each. And I think I've never seen a film with Mia Farrow before.
Oh.
Who I think is very famous, but I wouldn't have known which one she was, except that I looked it up.
Yeah.
I've only seen her. She was the voice of the unicorn in The Last Unicorn.
Amazing.
Did you watch
great.
That?
Yeah, we watched it together.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there
She's
you go.
in Rosemary's Baby.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Mm.
And was married to, well, not married. She dated Woody Allen for a long time.
Yeah, I remember
it was her
that.
Sure.
her adoptive daughter that he then went off with.
Yeah. Yeah, that's weird. And of course, there was Simon McCorkindale, one that I spotted quite clearly in the credits. I was like, that is a classy name.
Corking.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so.
Right. What did you think of Simon? Did you find him dreamy?
He was a little dreamy, wasn't he? I think I quite disliked him just because he'd broken up with Jackie, even though apparently he hadn't. What did you think of him, Claire?
I didn't like him. I thought he was a bad one.
He was a bad egg, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Seemed like it. Did you like him, Fernando?
Well, I liked him at first, but then I'm not sure why. Maybe it was what you mentioned that he broke up with Jacqueline that I stopped liking him. Yes.
Yeah.
This is interesting. I took it that he did actually break her heart and break up with her, but then at some point along the way they realised they were still in love and got back together. But do you think they had this plan from the beginning where he was going to marry her, take her money, and then...
That was my impression, yeah. I thought it was all to get the money and set things up in a way that he couldn't possibly be accountable.
Interesting. Yeah,
But
I took
maybe
it that
I misinterpreted that.
Yeah. I took it that... remember when, in the end, when Jackie's like... what did she say? Oh, I had to get involved because I knew that he would do some stupid thing like, put a snake in a room or something. That was her, that he would have...
Oh.
But then that doesn't really make sense. I suppose he could have done that from the beginning. Yeah, never mind. I don't know.
How did you take it, Claire?
I definitely felt like he fell in love with... Was it
Lynette?
Lynette. Yeah, I keep going to say Lilette, which is not her name. Yeah, I think he definitely did. Well, I felt like he definitely fell in love with her. But
yeah,
there's some... I don't know, he just was so mean about Jackie when she was following them around, which, in fairness, was really creepy and weird, and she shouldn't have been doing it. But yeah, I'm not sure.
Oh, I thought that. Yeah, I definitely saw that as like he was sort of acting like the big man, saying, "Oh, don't let it spoil the holiday," and all of that. I thought for sure. Oh, well, by the end, I thought for sure he was in on that.
Maybe because that is a weird thing to say, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a bloody complicated plot to think up.
Interesting.
Oh, great stuff.
Can I go through some of the things that I thought were a bit rubbish?
Yes.
Okay.
Gotta have the other side.
Yes.
First of all, the fact that you didn't spot the second bullet hole in the table. That's just bad detective work. You should have seen that. But I guess he revealed that he did see it. But then, you should the first thing you do is give a thorough inspection of the area.
Yeah.
Although I guess that wasn't the area where the murder happened, so maybe I can let them off.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe he didn't think it was worth looking at. Yeah.
Seems un-Poirot. Anyway, number 2, the fact that they bumped off Louise on the boat. Like, just wait until you get off the boat with the famous private detective who's scrutinising every move.
Yeah, fair.
It's just bad planning.
Give her the money, wait a while, kill her and take it back.
But I guess if you're in the heat of the moment, you just murder.
And you've got a gun on you might as well. Did they get complacent? Is that what happened?
Maybe. They thought this murder business sure is easy.
I think they were just afraid she would tell Poirot. No?
Yeah. Oh, maybe, yeah.
Oh, of course. But they were giving her the money? Huh.
Yeah,
no, you're right.
That's not as much of a guarantee as being dead.
Yeah, I suppose so. What else was rubbish?
What are they going to do? Be like, oh, well, I want my money back to spend in prison.
Just one other thing, which is that I don't understand why they didn't just put the snake into Lynette's room.
Were they planning to do that or something, and then they had it left over and decided to kill off Poirot?
Yeah, Jackie said that Simon would have used the snake, which was a terrible idea. And I'm like, but nobody would have been able to prove that you put a poisonous snake in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where did they get the snake in the first place?
Where did they get the snake? Indeed.
Yeah, you smuggle it in your luggage. I feel that's probably fairly easy to smuggle in, right? I think a snake, if you put it somewhere like dark and confined, they just sort of go to sleep and... Still, how the fuck do you get it out? And then... Yeah. No, thanks.
Those are the only things.
Yep. Oh, well.
Maybe the fact that they confessed, because I'm like, wait and get a lawyer. They always confess. The slow clap.
I wondered when you'd get it, Hercule. Yes, it was I. It was I all along.
It's like, I have no evidence, but I have a strong suspicion that this is the case. And then they go, oh, yeah.
Also from reading the books, the amount of times where they just kill themselves at the end. No justice is ever served. They always just top themselves immediately. And I'm like, you think Poirot would catch on to this a bit?
Okay, I was quite shocked when that happened. I thought they were going to end up being led away in handcuffs.
Yeah, I was shocked
at the next
at first.
port.
I was shocked at that one, and then I start reading the books, and you're like,
they just always
when will there be a
themselves
guilty
at the end?
person who's not going to kill themselves at the end?
It's like a Greek tragedy where everyone has to die. Yeah, okay. Again, that's kind of good or comforting in a way, isn't it? This sort of this is the structure of one of these novels, and you have to work out who did it.
Yeah, so it's not enough to be like they'll go on trial and probably get found guilty. It's like you have to have immediate justice served within the scope of the book.
Yeah. Oh, that's quite good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So was Peter Ustinov Poirot in any other films?
Yes, definitely. I haven't seen them yet.
There was a sort of series of these.
He did a few, I think.
Okay.
Let's have a wee Google.
We can talk about that.
Poirot. He only did 3. He did Death on the Nile, Evil Under the Sun, and Appointment with Death.
Trilogy. Brilliant.
Yeah. Which is odd, because without knowing it, those are 3 of the ones that I've read.
Ah, maybe you read the most famous ones?
Must have, yeah, maybe. I had no idea. I just picked them at random.
Ah.
Maybe subconsciously I knew they were the famous ones.
Not bad. Oh, maybe I'll read one of these.
Yeah. If you're going to, read The Murder of Roger Ackroyd.
Okay. We can discuss it. I think they were, or most of them were, newspaper serials, weren't they?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think they'd be in a daily newspaper for, a month.
Oh, that must have been brilliant.
Yeah, you can imagine getting hooked in and wanting to read it. Brilliant stuff.
Fantastic.
She's right on the edge of public domain. I think we're going to get quite a few more over the next few years. I checked a couple of years ago, and I think she had 2 novels in the public domain, and then it hit 1922 or whatever the cutoff was. But they've started entering again, so I guess we'll have a few more in the public domain soon.
Brilliant.
I can finally publish my Agatha Christie fan fiction I've been keeping secret for so long.
Who do you think? Who would you cast us as?
Oh, what a great get! Oh, someone get some shots in, and we could. I could spend all night playing this game. We could do it for every film we've seen. Oh, this should be a new feature.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh. Right.
Laura.
Oh, let me think. Let's just get who are the bloody characters.
This is so good.
Who else is there?
Claire as Jackie for sure.
Do you think?
What?
Yeah. I don't know if it's the shortish hair or something, or the
yeah. Claire, you've got short hair. You'd be Jackie.
Just you.
Oh,
I can see you doing that. Just you've got this sort of
Mate, Claire is Maggie Smith.
Yeah, I want to be Miss Bowers.
Okay, you can have that.
Michael Young is the French detective.
Poirot.
The Belgian detective, if you please, monsieur. Fernando is, of course, Betty Davis.
That's surprising, but yes, I can see that.
And Laura's the eccentric author.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Oh, I'm pleased with that.
Yeah, Laura's Madame Salome.
The passions of the flesh.
Wait, am I Miss Bowers because I'm mean and impatient to people?
Because you're no nonsense, you get stuff done, and you don't worry too much about
Dressing like a girl.
Yeah, exactly.
Either that or I'd like to be the Doctor.
Oh, the Doctor was quite good. Yeah, I didn't mind the Doctor.
Excellent. The people have spoken. How do you feel about Betty Davis, Fernando? I could recast you.
I just cannot remember who Betty Davis is.
She's the old lady who's obsessed with the pearls.
Oh, yes. I think I'm her. Yes.
And Maggie Smith is goes along with
Wonderful. She was good. Oh, please do. Yeah, Betty Davis. Great casting there.
I think you could make a case for Fernando as either Jim or the daughter, because they both had a kind of quiet vulnerability about them.
The daughter?
Okay.
The daughter, do you know who ended up with the
Salome's
communist?
daughter. Yeah.
Yeah, we almost never heard her name.
I can't remember her name.
Mademoiselle.
Rosalie?
Rosalie, maybe.
Was she Rosaline? Okay.
But I just
According
don't know.
to Wikipedia, which I'm now looking at. So,
I'm actually quite happy being Betty Davis.
I think Betty Davis fits quite well, actually.
yeah.
Wonderful.
Michael, I might put you as the Doctor. Bit of an eccentric, but also kind of just getting on with it, getting stuff done.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll
I
take
don't
that.
know, though. I don't know. I've
He's got messy hair as well. That would suit me.
And maybe you're Simon. Who knows?
Oh,
I also see you
dashing.
as the communist as well.
Yeah.
No, I'll take the Doctor. That suits me. So, what was the link between this and the last film?
Good idea. What was the last film?
Drugstore Cowboy.
Drugstore Cowboy. Interesting. This is one of the more difficult ones, isn't it? They're so different.
Matt Dillon and Simon were actually the same person.
Matt Dillon and Simon were the same person, of course. But why? They used... You know how Poirot was drugged?
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
No, that's the end of that.
Someone took some drugs.
There were drugs in the film.
That's our worst one yet. That's pathetic. They had nothing. We finally found a film that had nothing in common.
These were very different films, for sure.
They were both films.
They were both films. Were they about love that did not have the chance to flourish because of our circumstances?
Yeah. Yeah, that's legit.
Is it?
Is it?
You know how Jackie and Simon's love never really reached its bloom?
Yeah. They collaborated, didn't they? They were lovers, but they also kind of had a highly dangerous and illegal job to do. That was Jackie and Simon.
That's
and
it
was also
link.
The two in Drugstore Cowboy, and the job that they were doing ended up sort of brought them together, but also ended up tearing them apart in both films.
Yep.
I'm happy with that.
That me too. We're not getting anything else out of
I'm
this.
going to take that. Well, any closing thoughts for anyone?
We haven't done symbolism, but we don't have time, so we'll just go with what Claire said earlier about Maggie Smith being coded as homosexual.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yep. Oh, thank you.
The French detective was Jesus because he knew everything. He's a lizard.
That's true.
Yeah,
oh, yeah,
perfect.
Of course. Yes, he was Jesus. I'm sure there's more to go on there. I mean, they were on the Nile, for God's sake. Maybe this was a Moses one. Not that he was on the Nile, but, you know, roughly, we're in Egypt.
Didn't Moses have to cross the Nile at some point? No, that was the Red Sea. Oh, but still, they're probably round the Nile. Yeah, amazing.
Good stuff. Right, well, let's wrap this baby up.
Yeah.
Is this the worst one yet?
This might be the worst episode we've ever done.
This is not the worst episode. This was great.
It was good. I enjoyed it.
What was the worst episode?
There was no worst episode. We've
we're
never done a
pretty
bad
good,
one.
aren't we?
Yeah.
I'm just looking through.
They're all just more best than the other.
I'm looking through and trying to work out what I'm sure there was one that was just terrible. I had to try and cut it down. It just didn't work. Well, at least we've got the whole recording of this one, presumably. Great, bam, in and out podcast.
Cue the music. Gonna have to unplug my headphones again for you to hear it. Unless somebody else wants to do it, but no, let's do it.
No,
Let's just...
tradition.
Go back.
Good Lord.
Life isn't perfect, my friends.
I think the last thing to do is to ask Laura what film she wants to watch.
Oh my God, is it my turn?
I believe so.
Last? Oh, I'm so torn. I'm so terribly, terribly torn.
No.
7.
Do you want to make a snap decision or do you want to text us?
Snap decision.
Snap decision.
Jason and the Argonauts.
Jason and the Argonauts. Do you have a year?
50s-ish?
Okay. 1963.
Yep, that sounds right.